All right, are we on? Are we on? Are we on? I hope we're on. Yay! Okay, we're on. We've got one person tuned in. Wicked. Let's do this. All right. So, happy Friday. All right, so it's a bit chilly this morning. We'll warm up enough to take off our clothes later. But welcome to home-based yoga. And I think that practicing yoga at home is one of the best places you can start practicing yoga. Not everyone's comfortable coming to a class, and I was certainly that person in the beginning, not into going to classes. But I'd just like to say a special thank you to Allison A. and Joanne for all of the back-end coordination. You guys coordinating creative projects that keep our community connected is so vitally important, especially at this time, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Joanne and Allison. You guys are beautiful, and I just respect all the work that you guys do. So we'll just start with basic gratitude, so thank you. So today we're going to go through a flow. Some of it will be familiar to some of you, some of you will be the first time you've ever practiced. And so if this is the first time you've ever practiced, I really want you to just kind of do the best you can with what you've got. And so that doesn't necessarily mean you need all the equipment. As long as you have a little space on your floor that is big enough, roughly the size of a yoga mat. Now the props we're going to be using is, I will be using a yoga block as a modification and a yoga strap. Now if you don't have either of these tools, which is totally fine, you can do something as simple as using a scarf. And instead of a yoga block, you can use a book. And instead of a yoga bolster, you can use a cushion. So really just using what you've got around you is fine enough. If you've got a body, you can do yoga. That's the thing. So we'll run through a routine and I'll give you guys some modifications if you need it. I apologize in advance for any shaky camera work. It's a little bit hard to get all the angles right, so bear with me, but here we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to start by sitting on the ground, and let me start by, oops, and that's no good either. All right, so we're just going to start by sitting on the ground. You can sit with your, if it's comfortable for you to sit with your legs crossed, go for it. If you can only sit with your legs out, go for it. But I find it more comfortable sitting with my legs crossed. So we're just going to start by taking some, so we're going to do 5 on each side. 5 is our number today. We're going to, when I say 5 breaths, it means you're going to use your breath to be counting the repetition here. So, all right, so we're just going to come into a nice comfortable spot. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, filling up those lungs, and letting that breath fall out the mouth. So we're going to inhale, turning to our right, exhale. Inhale, coming up, bringing our chest forward, really expanding those lungs, and on the exhale we're going to twist to the left. So 5 on each side. Really make those breaths count. So we're just warming up our bodies here. The theme is we warm it up, we wake it up, we work it out, then we rest it. Big inhale, giving your spine a nice twist, letting your breath fall out. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to place our right hand on the ground, and we're going to just lean towards that right hand. So ultimately we'll be resting our hand and our elbow on the ground. So we're going to lean into that, leaving our bum on the mat, raising our arm up, and just really stretching out our lateral muscles. So we'll do that on both sides. And you're going to notice one side is a lot more tense than the other, and that's fine too. So we'll just stay for 5 breaths on each side. Really breathing deeply into those lower lateral muscles. This is a good lower back stretch. Two more breaths. And you'll feel on your inhale, you'll feel all of your lower lateral muscles really expanding. And so we want to just take note of any place in our body that we just feel gentle tension. So that's our body signaling to us, this is where I'm storing a bit of tension. And so this is why we do yoga, is to dissolve that tension, dissolve that stress. Now if you're sitting in a chair, in an upright chair, you're simply just going to be leaning from side to side. You can put your hand on your knee and leaning as long as you're feeling that big open stretch. Okay, so from here we're going to move into, this is called table position. So this is table. When we're on our hands and our knees in a nice even position, we want our shoulders directly under our wrists directly under our shoulders, and this is just called table. So if I ever say come into table position, this is what we're talking about. So from here, we're going to take our right hand and we're going to thread it under our left side, and we're going to rest that shoulder on the ground for 5 breaths. So I'll show you how we do this. So we take our right hand, we're threading it under and laying that on the floor, and we're just going to have 5 breaths here. Now this is really good for anyone who gets a lot of shoulder pains. Really breathing deep into that shoulder socket. One more. So on the inhale, we come up, and we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to take our left hand and we're going to thread it underneath our right shoulder, bending that arm. So your right arm can be at a 90 degree on the mat. All right, so I will try to, my camera doesn't really sit in any, you can flip your phone sideways if the image is sideways, but my camera only fits in the tripod one way. Sorry guys. So we've threaded our shoulder underneath, so we're coming back into table position. So in table position, we really just want to make sure that our wrists are directly under our shoulders here. So for anyone who feels off balance, you're just going to keep both your hands on the mat, and you're going to lift your leg. So just lift your leg as if you're putting a little footprint on the ceiling. And now for anyone who feels like they have the balance and the coordination, what we're going to do is, this is a bit of an opposites game here. So we're going to inhale, lifting our right leg and our left arm. Inhaling as we lift up and exhaling as we crunch it in. So we're going to do 10 of these on each side. So inhaling up, exhale, crunch it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're just going to hold it on this last one. Holding, holding, holding. 10. Crunch it in. Good job. So again, we're going to do the same movement on the other side, except this time we're lifting our right hand and our left leg. Take a drink of water. You're going to need water. Anyone who comes to yoga knows we get a bit crazy sometimes. Alrighty, so again, if you don't feel like you're not confident with the balance thing, you're just going to lift your foot up, except this time we're doing our left foot. You're just going to lift your foot up as if you're doing a little footprint on the ceiling. So here we go, we're lifting our left leg, right arm, and we always inhale on the up, okay? Otherwise it gets really difficult really quickly. And this is the thing with yoga, is we're connecting our breath and our movement together. So we're inhaling up, exhaling, crunching the knee and the elbow together on the exhale. So inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, easy. From here we're going to come into child's pose. So we're going to put our hands out in front of us, and we're just going to sink our hips back. And we'll sit here for 5 breaths just to rest. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is just opening up all of our stomach muscles and our abdomen muscles, and this is just a quick breathing exercise one here. So this is called cat-cow. It sounds a bit silly, but all the names of yoga poses are a bit silly. So, so on cat-cow, we're arching our back up and we're inhaling, drawing up, really stretching our belly muscles here. And on the exhale, we're tucking our tailbone underneath and exhaling all that air out of our lungs like an accordion. So we're going to do 10 of these. So inhaling, looking up to the ceiling, really feeling your belly muscles stretch and open. And exhaling, down. Pressing the shoulders down towards the floor. The last thing we want is crampy shoulders. Really try on the inhale to look up to the ceiling as far as you can, because you're going to feel that open up all of your lungs and your belly muscles and your abdomen. Three more. On the exhale, you can just let your head fall down between your shoulders. Okay, so from here, we're warmed up. We are going to sorry, I'm gonna try because everyone's complaining about the is this any better? Let's see if I can fix my tripod here. Now, part of the problem is, all right, oops. We're gonna try it and try and keep trying. Sorry guys, I thought it would just automatically adjust. Okay, I don't know if you're gonna get the same angle, but we're trying it. Okay, so after our cat-cow, we're gonna come down into a down dog. So we've warmed up all of our abdomen, our obliques. So again, we're just making sure that our wrists are under our shoulders. We want nice wide hands because this is where all of the downward pressure is going to be going. So we're going to tuck our toes underneath. So we're tucking our toes, getting our hands in a nice position, and we're lifting up from the toes and pressing back. Yoga and camera work. Here we go. So we're just nice and so that we're stretching out the back of our legs here. You might feel a bit of tension in the back of your legs. It's okay to have a gentle bend in the knees if you're feeling a bit too much tension, but we're really going to be trying to press those heels back and down into the mat. So we'll stay here for 5 breaths. You can wiggle your hips side to side, or you can walk the dog, just pressing those heels down. And then we're going to walk our hands in towards our feet and come up to standing. So from here, we're just going to put a slight bend in our knees, palms on the knees, and we're just going to slowly inhale, rolling our spine up into standing. Okay, so from standing, I hope this is all right. So from standing, we're going to just, sorry, I'm laughing at my camera here. What we're going to do is we're going to come into a tree pose, and tree pose is simply, we're going to focus about 3.5, 4 feet in front of us. So if you have a mat, you're going to be looking at this dead center front of your mat. But what we really want to do is we want a nice solid foundation when we're doing yoga, and your feet are your foundation. So what we do to get a nice wide foundation is we really want us to be spreading our toes out, because that's where all of our balance comes from. It's from a nice wide foundation. So we're going to just hook the pinky toe into the mat, spread the toes out, and then press down with the ball of the big toe. So see, I'm hooking my pinky toe in, and then I'm spreading my toes out and putting the ball of my big toe down before I put my big toe down, because all of your balance comes from this here. So then we're going to just quickly, so we're going to get ourselves nice and centered. It's a nice calm day. We're going to bring our hands to our heart center, which is here. And we're just going to inhale, bringing our leg up to our kneecaps. You'll notice that your foot, the bridge of your foot fits almost perfectly around your knee. Now if you're feeling that this is nice and easy, you're welcome to bring your foot to the inner part of your thigh. If you need to grab onto a wall for some balance, you're welcome to do that. But if you're really trying to stabilize yourself and work on your balance, you can take your middle fingers and you put them right in your belly button. So this is your center of gravity. So if you're ever feeling off or out of balance, you just bring your middle fingers to your belly button, So we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. So this is just drawing our focus inward and just calming the mind. So we're going to do the same on the other side now. So we're getting a nice wide foot, planting the ball of the big toe, bringing our fingers to our belly button here, inhaling, just bringing our foot up to our kneecap. And you're welcome, if you feel balance, you're welcome to bring your leg a little higher. And we're just going to sit here and stare at the front of our mat for 5 breaths. So the reason we practice these standing poses is because it focuses our breath and our mind. And so our body listens to our mind. So when we can calm our mind down with our breath, then our body calms down as well too. So this is just part of the biochemistry of yoga and the body. I just find this relaxing. Okay, so we're going to come down. So the next thing we're going to do, this is really going to open up all your side lateral muscles. So if you've got lower back pain, this is a great one for you. So what we're going to do is we are going to keep our left foot on the ground. We're going to take our right foot over our left foot. And we're going to keep our left hand down on our left leg here. And we're going to stretch our right arm up and over. So our right leg is over our left leg, and our right arm is stretching up towards the ceiling. And oh my goodness, you're going to feel a big pull here. Good. Whew, that's intense. So we're going to do the same on the other side. So this time we're keeping our right foot on the ground, our right arm is on our right leg. We're going to step it over. And your feet don't need to be side by side. You can step it over a bit more, just as long as you feel like you're in balance here. And you're going to stretch that arm up to the sky. Again, just taking note of any gentle subtleties on either side of your body. You might feel that your right side's a lot more locked up than your left. And coming back in. All right, so from here, we're going to come into chair pose. So chair poses, we're going to get our knees shoulder width apart. So you want to just imagine drawing a line from your shoulders right down your hips, and your knees are going to be in line with over your feet. So this one's a fun one. If you've got stress in your life you're trying to burn, this is the one for you. So this is called Fists of Fire. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, bringing our arms up, sinking back into a seated position, not arching our tailbone out, but just tucking it in. And then on the exhale, we're going to bring our hands into fists and bring them back and stand up. So this is called Fists of Fire. So we're going to do 10 of these and then take a drink of water. So we're inhaling up, coming into a nice low seated squat. This is it. 2. Really sinking in. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. We're going to hold it here. 10. All right, your quads will be nice and warmed up now. All right, so from here, we're just going to come into a nice gentle resting position, and we're going to have our feet shoulder width apart again, and we're just going to hang downwards. So some of you might not be able to get all the way down, and that's fine. If you can't reach all the way down, you're going to put a gentle bend in your knees, crossing your arms, and you're just going to hang forward. Now I know hanging forward is easy for some of us, but if you can't hang forward, you're just going to use a strap under one foot, and you're just going to gently bring yourself towards the strap. Now we don't want our backs arched, we want to try and keep them flat. We're going for flatness from the tailbone here. So we're just going to come into a forward fold here, nice and relaxed, falling forward. Again, if you need to use your strap, you're welcome to, or a scarf. If you don't have a strap, you can simply just use a scarf and just gently bring yourself, give a little bit of tension. You bring yourself to the point of tension and no further, and then you breathe deeply into it. So if you need to just hang out in forward fold with your knees bent and your arms crossed, that's awesome. But for those of us who have been practicing for 15 years, bending to the ground is nice and relaxing as it is. So just hanging out down here in forward fold. So what we're going to do, again, if you need to use your strap, you can use your strap. So what we're going to do is, if we can reach our ankles, we're going to grab the outside of our ankles here. Try and work on. So we're going to grab the outside of our ankles. And breathing deeply, again, keeping a nice straight lower back. Breathing deep. Noticing any tension in the back of the legs. You can just imagine that as you breathe deep, you're just dissolving that tension in the back of your legs. You can even use your fingertips to gently just massage that tension you feel in the back of your legs. This is just lactic acid buildup in the fascia. So what we're going to do here is another crisscross game. So we're going to take our left hand, sweeping it around the outside of our right ankle, and you're going to feel a big pull and a twist from your shoulder, and you're going to try and relax into that as much as possible. So, and you're going to bring our right arm up, just feeling that twist in our body and our spine. You're going to feel a gentle pull in your shoulder. And you just really want to breathe deeply into that and try and relax. And anytime you notice tension in your body, you're going to breathe and relax. So we're just, left arm is on the right ankle, and with the right arm we're just gently looking up towards the ceiling. And down. Okay, so we'll do the same thing on the other side. We're taking our right hand over to the left ankle, sweeping it around the outside of the left ankle, and we're just going to look up with our left arm up. Trying to let that shoulder relax. Coming back down. Okay, so again, palms on the knees, slowly inhaling and rolling our spine up. Great. Okay, so let's see if I can sneak this around here. So from here, we are going to be stepping our right foot forward now. So we're just right foot forward. We don't want our knee over our toes. We want our knee stacked directly above our ankle here. Let me get these yoga blocks out of the way. So we've got our right foot forward here, and the back foot's going to be just at a bit of a 45. So you can have your back toes tucked in at an angle, 45-degree angle. Or you can have them straight out. I'll just give you a quick shot. So this is how my feet are. This is how I like them. Again, this is about you listening to how your body works. Everybody's body is different. That's the beauty. So we're going to move into Warrior One now. So Warrior One is we're inhaling, and you can make micro adjustments. Inhaling, so we're just making sure that our knee is never going over the front of our toe. So we're inhaling, and we're just going to hold this, feeling a big pull in our inner gracilis, which is our inner thigh. Or, what is the inner gracilis called? It's your groin. That's the word I'm looking for. Your inner gracilis is your groin. So you're going to feel a big pull on your inner groin from your back leg. So your leg that's planted back, you're going to feel a nice big pull on the inside of your groin. And so what we're going to do here is we're actually going to straighten the front leg. I don't know how else to, might move you back here for a second. So we're coming from this, we're straightening our front leg, we're using our left hand on the back of the left leg. I'll move. And we're just sailing that front arm, the right arm up to the sky, feeling a nice big pull in all your front, your laterals, your lower back. So we're going to hold this for 5 breaths. One more. 5. And then we put the bend back in the front leg. And we're coming back into Warrior One. So it's a bit of, I'm glad I apologized early for my camera work. Okay, so from here, try and see if we can pull you around any further. So from here, we're back into Warrior One. Our knee is bent. Our front knee is bent. Back in Warrior One, leg at the back. We're going to take our right hand, because our right leg is forward, and we're going to teeter-totter our bodies like this. I think I should be doing this so that you guys can see. So right leg is forward, back leg is straight. We're taking our right hand down to our right leg, and we're opening up that hip, and we're looking up to the sky. Just breathing deeply for 5 breaths here. This is a great stretch for anyone who's got a lot of tension in their lower back and in their hips. Two more breaths. Really make your breaths count. So to come out of this, we're inhaling up. And so now we're going to do the same with the other foot. So now our right foot is at the back and our left foot's forward. So we're inhaling into Warrior One. So we're inhaling into Warrior One here. Our knees are stacked over our ankle. They're not going over our toes. So we're inhaling, feeling a big pull from our hip flexor into our groin and down our back leg here. Inhaling Then we're going to take our right hand, sliding it down our back leg and straightening the front leg. Inhale, reaching up, really opening up all of those dorsal latimus dorsi muscles to your back muscles. And then sailing it back into the front leg. We're putting that bend back in the front leg. And we're going to take our front hand, which is our left. So we've got our left hand on our front leg. And we're going to bring our left hand down to our front foot. And then we're going to, this is so complicated, videoing this. We're going to turn our right arm up to the ceiling and the sky. Just bringing that breath back, the awareness to the breath. Relaxing into it. One more breath, and then we're going to inhale, coming up. So inhale, coming up. Good. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to drop our right leg, which is our back leg, onto the mat. So from here, there's a couple places we could go, but we'll just go to a few today. So from here, we're just going to be, our right leg is back. We're going to inhale. This is called crescent moon. We're going to inhale up, and we're just leaning forward. And this is really going to stretch your front hip flexor, which is your iliopsoas. So this helps connect your legs to your hips, your torso. So we're inhaling up, exhale, palms out. Inhaling up, exhale, palms out. 3 more. Inhaling up. Really feeling that stretch in your front hip flexor. Exhale. Inhaling up, up, up. Oh, feeling all of those belly muscles open and stretch. That feels amazing. So we're going to come back. We're going to stick our right foot forward. So everything we do on our left, we want to do on our right. It's about the balance of both. So again, our left foot's back now. Right foot is forward, knees just stacked directly over our ankle, and we're going to inhale up, and we're going to look up, and we're going to feel that big pull from our hand down our left side, right through our hip flexor. So inhaling up, exhale, palms out. Inhaling up, exhale, palms out. 3 more. Keep bringing it back to the breath. Try not to hold your breath. Good. 1 more just for good luck. Oh, good. Okay. So from here, we're going to come into what I call pigeon pose. And there's a couple different ways to do pigeon pose. So I'll just show you. So we've got our right foot forward. We're going to put our left hand on the ground and drag our right foot across to our left hand so it's laying down. And notice our back foot is still out the back. So we've got, so if you can't bend your body into this position, one thing you can do is you can stick a block under your bum for a bit of support. There's a couple different ways to do it though. So if you're not able to do that, I'll show you a way to do it where you can sit in a chair and do this. So the sitting version of this is this: if you're in a chair, this is really great for your hips. You're just going to come and sit really tall and straight, and you're going to take the outside of your right ankle and you're just going to rest it on your knee, and you're just going to apply a little bit of gentle pressure with your right hand, but you're really aiming to sit up as tall as possible. And you're still going to get the same effect as if you were laying on the mat doing this. So we're sitting up nice and tall. Now there's one other way to do this position as well. So the third way to do this position is if you're laying on the ground. So to lay on the ground and do this position, I'll show you. So laying on the ground, you can bring your knees up, and what you're going to do is, again, you're going to take your right knee and resting it on your left ankle, or your right ankle on your left knee. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lift your left leg and thread your fingers through. And this is going to be the same exercise as pigeon. You're still stretching all of the same muscles. So this is the third modification. So you can choose which modification you do, because you know your body better than anyone else. I'm going to go back to the first modification. So I had my right foot forward because we had just come out of crescent moon. So again, dragging it across. You can even use your hand to hold your foot in place. So your left hand can hold your right foot in place. And you're just going to sink down here for just, we'll say 5 breaths. Now, part of the reason why people don't like this pose so much is because it is, it touches, we hold a lot of tension in our gluteus maximus, and when you do this pose, pigeon pose, it really stretches and opens it, and so it does tend to feel a bit tender or sensitive. And that's what I'm talking about. We just want to tap into that sensitivity and that tenderness and just really breathe deeply into it so that we can dissolve that blockage, that pain, that stress that's stuck in the glute here. And so to come out of this, we're going to press our hands into the mat and tuck our back toes under, like that. And then we're going to lift up into down dog. We can walk the dog from here. And then from there, we're just going to walk our hands back, having a nice moment in forward fold here. Just preparing to do the left side. So again, we're going to step our left foot forward. We're going to drop our right leg back. Now if you're looking for a good quad stretch, to stretch here, so this is a quick one that you can do. You may need a cushion. If you've got any knee issues, you can use a cushion for this. So, you know, you're welcome to stick a cushion under your right leg, but I'll just show you the stretch first. This is called pyramid pose, and I find this one so good. So what you're going to do is you're going to get nice and balanced, and you're going to use your right hand to grab your right foot, and you're just going to gently pull that foot in towards your bum, and this really opens up the hip flexors and the quad muscles. And I find this a really, really invigorating stretch. It really wakes you up and warms you up. So again, we're going to just bring our left knee across to our right hand, using our right hand to hold it. Our right leg is still back, so we're going to bring So this is called sitting pigeon. Sorry about that, guys. Too many buttons on the phone. Okay, so we're coming back into pigeon. It's all right if we want to use our hand to hold our foot in place. Sitting in pigeon. We're just going to sit here for 5 breaths, really breathing deeply into this, trying to dissolve any blocks or pain we feel. And again, there's modifications for sitting in a chair if you need to do this in a chair. Or the alternative is you lay down on your back and you do this. So inhaling, pressing up through the hands, tucking the back toes under. So again, we're tucking that back toe under and we're coming down into down dog. Feeling that nice big stretch. And walk them side to side. Walking the hands in, rolling up through the spine. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is we're going to move into some, this is called triangle pose. So, try and get myself settled here. So triangle pose is, we're going to have our legs nice and wide. We want them wide, like as if our body's a big triangle, and that's what we're going for. So we're going to come down into triangle pose, and again, if you can't touch the floor, that's fine. You can put a slight bend in your knees and just hang out with your arms here. But for those of us that can sink down, you might even want to use a block. This is a good chance to use a block or a prop, a book if you don't have a block to use. So we're going to just put the block on the ground. So depending on how far you can go, you might just want to put the block like that. And we're going to turn and open up our left side. So we're going to put our right hand on the ground and we're just looking up to our left hand, up at the ceiling. So the reason why inverted poses, forward fold, any poses that have your head lower than your belly, the reason why they feel so good and so calming is because you're bringing fresh oxygen to your brain, and that fresh oxygen is carried in the blood. So again, we're just going to come down, putting our left hand on the mat, twisting to the right and just looking up towards the ceiling where the right hand is pointing. All right. Now from here we're going to come into frog pose. And what is frog pose, right? Frog pose is we're going to bring our heels together. And we're just going to notice where our knees are pointing. So we're going to drop the knees onto the mat. Let's see if we can keep pushing you into the wardrobe. And then, so once our knees are on the mat, we're going to actually take our feet and drag them out behind the knees so that we notice our foot is directly behind our knees. So what we're going to do here is you can use a cushion or a bolster. You can lean forward, but we're really just leaning forward. Some of us might want to go. This is a really good one for pregnant mamas. If you're getting ready to have a baby, practice this one, I promise you. So we're just going to lean forward. This is really opening up all of our groin area. And there's a lot of meridian points that actually run through our groin and our hip flexors, and a lot of energy can get blocked there. So what we're really doing is when you feel tension or pain in your hip flexor or your groin, you just want to bring it back to that breath and breathe really deeply, because with breath we dissolve the blockage. So we're just going to sink into this, getting nice and low, and we're just going to find that little sweet spot. And by sweet spot, I mean you're just going to feel gentle pull, gentle tension, and you're just going to hold it there and breathe deeply into that. So we'll sit here for 5 breaths. Now, if you want to stay in this position for longer than 5 breaths, you're absolutely welcome to. Again, just depending on where you're feeling it and how much you're feeling it. So from here, we're just going to drag our knees inward, and we're going to just rotate our hips in a circular motion 5 times one way and 5 times the other way. And all of that uneasy tension that you're just working on and blocking will just be moving around your body effortlessly now. All right, the next pose we're going to do is really good for your lower back. If you've got any digestive issues or lower back sacral issues, this is going to be one that's you practice a lot. So we're going to come into just again a nice wide leg squat here, and we're going to sink it down, down, down. So for some people, they might need to just stick a block under their bum at this point, and this might be as far as they go. And that's fine. Again, this is about you learning to read your body and what you're capable of and what's not. So if you can only get this low, good, great. But we're going to sink it down. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our hands together, creating this beautiful little flat line between both sides. And we're going to use the compression from our arms and our hands together, and we're going to draw our chest forward. So notice I'm not hunched over like this. I'm using the compression from my arms to draw my chest forward and straighten out my back. And this is called garland pose. Now this is just one of the most exceptional poses for anyone who has lower back issues, hip issues, because your lower back is connected to your hips. So this is why we go through the flow that we do, because we're really trying to open up all of the energy centers in our body and dissolve any blocks. So this is a really, really good one, especially if you've got bowel conditions. If you've got IBS or something, this is exceptional for relaxing the interior of the bowel. So again, just trying to keep that straight line from your lower back all the way up. We're not hunching our shoulders. That's bad for our neck and bad for our posture. Really drawing it forward here. Inhaling, nice deep chest. Inhale, draw that chest forward. All right. One more breath, and we'll move into some sitting poses and then unwind. Okay. So from here, we can relax. We're going to sit down on our mat now. And this is going to get a bit tricky. Okay, let's see how far back I can put you. So we're going to do some wide leg stretches. So one thing we can do just to start is we're just going to sit up nice and tall, because even sitting up tall is a nice exercise, a nice workout. So we're going to just start by just sitting up nice and tall. If you need to stick a block under you, some people need to have a block under them to sit up nice and tall. It kind of propels your hips forward a bit more. So we're going to sit up nice and tall and just giving our legs a gentle jiggle for the next minute, just warming them up. Even this is a great abdominal exercise, and I'll show you guys one more really good exercise after we're done this. If anyone has a yoga ball at home or an exercise ball at home, you're gonna love this one. Okay, so we're just gonna start by inhaling, reaching down towards our toes. If you can't reach your toes, again, you're gonna use strap or a scarf or a piece of material. You can even use your belt. So if you can't reach your toes, you're gonna put your feet out in front of you, sitting up nice and tall, and you're just gonna work on this nice tall posture here. You don't necessarily need to work about going forward. Just sitting up nice and tall will be enough of a workout. But for those of us that can reach, we're just gonna lean in, and we're gonna grab our toes, and then we're gonna press our toes forward, stretching our back out. All right. So from here, we're gonna come into a wide leg. So you want to imagine your legs like your heels are like tent pegs going into the ground. You're going to really get them as wide as your legs can go. So, and then we can lean forward here. And that's really stretching our inner gracilis. You're going to feel that all in your inner, behind your quads. What's that muscle called? And again, if you need to use your strap, we're going to start going over to our right side, so you can use your strap and you can just give your body a gentle pull towards your right leg. If you find that it's quite easy for you to touch your right set of toes, what you're going to do is you're going to take your right arm and you're going to rest it on the inside of your knee, and then you're going to take your left arm and really stretch it over and grab those right toes with your left hand. And I absolutely adore this stretch. So one more nice deep breath. Inhaling up, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to do the same thing on the left side. So again, if you find it really easy to just touch your left toes, you're going to put your left arm on the inside of your left knee, and you're just going to use your right arm to stretch up and over and grab those right toes. Just resting here for 5 breaths. So again, if you need to use your strap, that's 100% fine. This is about you reading your body, and it takes practice. That's all it is. It's just practice. No pressure, just practice. Think of it like a new hobby. Breathing deeply, so I can really feel this in my dorsal, my latimus dorsi, which is all the muscles in the middle of your back, that behind your ribs, and they support your spine. All right, now before we go, I really want to do one of my favorite stretches, and anyone can do it. So this one requires for you to, I forgot this earlier in the sequence, so I'm just playing catch up now. But what we're going to do is we're going to put our right knee in the middle of our mat, and we're going to put our right hand directly in line with our right knee, and then with our left foot, we're going to sail that left foot out the back of the mat. So let's just see if we can get this all in one shot here. So we've got our right hand in line with our right knee, and our left foot's going to the back. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up our hip, and what we're going to do is we're going to aim to draw a big line from our foot on the mat all the way up through our fingers, and we're just giving this a nice big open stretch. And this is absolutely my favorite, and everyone who practices this says that this is their favorite move too. So if you just remember one move, make it your favorite and practice it for 1 minute a day. Opening up, turning out. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to put our left hand in line with our left knee, and we're going to put the right leg in line at the back of the mat, and we're going to just open up and stretching out, and we're drawing a big line from our foot at the back of the mat right through our hip, up our arm, and out our hand. Just one moment, I gotta turn my battery on. I thought it was on. Okay, so one other one we can do is we can simply sit with we can put one leg in front, cross one leg over, and we're just going to use our right leg is over our left. Sorry, I'm just going to turn on my battery, one moment. Is that plugged in? Okay. Well, my phone's about to die, so I'll make it quick. And our hour's over. Okay, so we're sitting with our left leg out in front of us, bringing our right leg over our left knee, and we're going to use our left arm to scoop our right knee. And then with our right hand, we're going to just put that behind our tailbone to give us some gentle support. Just giving our body a nice twist. And we can do the same thing on the other side. So right leg out in front of us, left leg over our right knee, and we're going to use our right arm to scoop up that left knee. And we're using our left hand to just put behind our tailbone and give us a bit of support here. And I think I'm going to have to start doing 2-hour yoga sessions because we come to the end of the first hour and it feels like I barely scratched the surface. So I would love to keep going, but my phone is about to die and I can't find the power pack. But I hope that you guys had fun trying some new yoga moves with me today. And if you guys want to do more, just send me a private message or head on over to our Wildcraft Wellness page, or come by the Neighbourhood House because there's classes there twice a week. So let us know what you think. I hope you had fun, and yeah, I hope you guys all gave it a try, and sending you guys so much love on this beautiful, glorious day. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.